Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. I just spat everywhere. Thanks for joining us right here on Midday,
Don't spit on
Kentucky.
our green balls.
I know. I don't want them to get any more mouldy.
Oh, I know, right?
Hey, look who's back just for a few days. But
Well, now,
right.
just to recap, the past 2 times I have made an appearance on this show, Winchester Chiropractic, I was shirtless getting cupped on TV, and then our friend Lydia from
Oh,
Proof
nice.
Fitness comes on.
Your friend.
And we're doing push-ups on the stability ball, and somehow you ended up on top of me. So those are my,
that was
my
funny.
past 2 experiences on
well,
the show.
and today's going to get even better.
We got a surprise for you today.
The thing is we went and had lunch on Sunday.
Yep.
Okay, and we were talking about many things, and I thought to myself, you were trying to justify that you were doing you really tried to do a push-up
I did.
with me sitting on your back, but the video doesn't show that. The video shows you hitting the ground as if it was like I was the heaviest thing that's ever sat on you.
In Eric's defense,
I think you are the heaviest
his feet
thing
were
that's sat on
balancing
me.
on a ball.
Yeah.
One of those posty balls, I
No,
think.
come on.
That was
Oh,
a good
please.
push-up before you sat on me.
It was
a
funny
good
regardless.
push-up.
Oh, we should have
It was
pulled
good
the video.
Well,
later.
you ready for the next one for
You
you?
only come on. You only make me come on when there's a chance I could embarrass myself. That's
Which brings
And
us to...
brings us to the next story right now. No, we were setting him up all just before the show, everyone. And because he does get very worked up that Katie and I are going to make fun of him.
Always.
And, he said, well, if you do that to me today, that's it. I'm not doing this anymore. I went, yeah, all right, whatever. We like
Hey,
it
I
because we
only-
love you.
Eric, you're so funny. You have a good sense of humor.
funny or fun to make fun of?
No, funny.
Oh, both.
I think you're funny.
We laugh with you, not at you.
Well, sometimes.
There's a difference.
Sometimes there's some laughing at me.
Yeah.
be
You laugh
honest.
at us too, though. I think it's like camaraderie.
Well, if you can't take it and you can't dish it, then
Okay.
That's
you're not
true.
fit for the table.
See, I agree.
See? That's
So
good that
I'm
I only
glad.
have to come on
So
certain
you're
times.
here Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So there is a story that I want to do about men waxing and the pain that they go through. So
That's
since
not
you just
happening.
said that, let's bring an
Let's do it
esthetician on and do
Wednesday.
some waxing.
No, thank you.
We'll see.
Why am I always the subject, not
I
you?
already have wax legs.
That's true.
It's like, hello.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
everything I'm doing on you, I've already done myself. So, you know, it is what
No,
it is.
thank you.
Hey, Equal Pay Day was let me say, Equal Pay Day is today.
It's today.
Okay, let me give you a little bit of history on it. Equal Pay Day was originated by the National Committee of Equity in 1996 as a public awareness event to illustrate the gap between men and women's wages.
Okay.
Now, I brought up some graphs for you to see. Now, on average, the women are still earning 20% less, but we all know Katie's the highest paid in the building.
Oh. Yeah,
She's
right.
in the top 10%.
She's in the top 10%.
Yeah,
everyone.
right.
What
I bet
found-
I'm making in Kentucky the average 82 cents on the dollar.
What I found
compared
really
to you.
interesting is it's also cut down. If we could just scroll back a little bit and I can just read this. 20% less, but if you break the pay gap down by race and ethnicity, it is even worse. Black women are paid 37% less than Hispanic women are paid, and 46% less. Now, this graph right up here, which is really quite interesting, it really does go to show you the difference between white men, Hispanic women, and black women. Now, on the graph on the left, it's a big difference, guys.
It's a big
When
chunk.
you see graphs like this, let's bring up the next one, which was really quite interesting as well. Now, this is university students, men's weekly earnings compared to women's weekly earnings. Big difference, huh?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not quite sure why we're not there yet.
You would think in the year
I just don't
2017
quite-
that this wouldn't be a thing.
Yeah.
I
what
mean,
are you
these
thinking?
graphs are showing that it is still a thing, 2017 or not. I understand the education thing. I didn't know it was so ethnically based too.
Yeah, that's
We've
what,
all
I,
heard
that's
the
what I
men
find so
versus
interesting.
women.
Yeah, it's among women that disparity is kind of crazy. And we had another study that came out here just in Kentucky. Kentucky is slightly higher for women overall. It's 82 cents on the dollar here in Kentucky, but still
Yeah.
the average woman makes $7,700 less than a man
In Kentucky.
for same field.
Interesting.
So,
Interesting.
that's crazy. But I
Okay.
think a lot of times salaries aren't openly available. And I've read a lot of studies about the psychology of it, that women are less likely to ask for a raise or to ask for more money.
They're most likely not to
not
ask?
to. And then
Interesting.
I think a lot of times you don't know what everyone around you is making. So if you have someone that's already a little less likely to ask for it and you don't have the confidence of knowing what your male counterpart is making, I don't know.
Now-
I don't know if I'd like to see.
But is it right to ask what someone's earning?
No, but I would like to see some
frowned upon, I would say.
more transparency
But
of what people are making.
these numbers for two people, a man and a woman, having the same,
Same job,
same
same
position? So
positions.
it's not a seniority thing or anything like
No.
that. Okay,
That's interesting.
82 cents on the dollar. That's significant. Like you said, almost
Yeah.
$8,000 a year.
Yeah, and I know in Utah it's 80 cents on the dollar. Oh no, sorry, 77 cents on the dollar, because we did a story on similar to this last year. And you know, when you think about it, it is. I still don't quite understand why it is like that nowadays, but you know, I don't know why an employer, because in Australia there is no such thing. We have award rates at the state and state and federal. So if your business is under the federal government or the state
Right.
government tax rate and wage rate, whether you're an apprentice hairdresser, you both earn the same amount of money. If you're a waiter, you both earn the same amount of money. I don't quite get, but yet there was a really interesting, if we could bring up graph number 5, I think it was, a world map graph, if you can bring that up. What really blew my mind is here's the gap of, so I just literally told you what I know so far being in business in Australia, but there is a 37% pay gap in Australia between men and women.
Well, that's interesting.
Don't you
Because,
agree?
well, you were talking about the
Exactly.
tiered level approach, too. So even with those stipulations on pay, 37, that's a pretty lofty number.
It's a huge
It's not
number.
10%, it's close to 40%.
Which actually threw me, because what I do know, and I'm thinking, where do they get that figure from, and is it
I
on
would
trade,
think
or
that
is
it does not take into account in certain fields that are mandated the exact salary. It's probably the salaries where if you own a business and you're paying a CEO,
That's
and
what
you
I
own a
was
business
thinking
and
as
you're
well.
paying
Yeah.
people. If it's mandated like you were talking about, I don't know if that's really,
Yeah.
that's probably not in that
So you were
stat.
thinking more people who, you know, self-employed.
Or just work in the business world.
A
Yeah,
private
like
business type approach to that.
Well, I was
Yeah.
a private business
That's
as
true.
well, but we were regulated under, because it was a trade. But we were sending kids to school and also training them in.
I remember
on
we
the
just
salon.
talked about Iceland a few weeks ago. They passed some new laws and regulation where new businesses, and if you have, I think over just 5 employees, it was something small number. If you want a business license, you have to actually prove to the state
that's
or
right.
the country
Yeah.
that you are providing equal pay. So
Yeah.
I'd like to see something like that here.
I think we need to move on with it. I think it's not good that we still
Especially
have
in
that
this
gap.
day and age. That
I know,
it's that large.
it's a lot of money too. 82 cents on the
We
dollar
need
here
you
in
to be
Kentucky.
earning more.
Okay, I'll take it. I mean,
That
if you're
pay
gonna,
gap.
If you're going to
That
send
pay
it my
gap.
way, I'll take it.
Hey, what I thought was really interesting is millennials and women. Where are you going with this
so
story?
this actually is kind of alarming based on what we just talked about. But you know, there's always been this long-standing battle between Generation Millennials, Gen Xers. So this new study just came out it's pretty interesting. It says millennials are more likely to feel that women should stay home and men should be the breadwinners than those in Generation X. So millennials feel more strongly that women should stay home than Generation X.
And they're talking
and you'd
about
think it would be the opposite.
going back to the 1950s
Yeah.
lifestyle or theory. Here's my understanding of this, is that they like the thought of, it seemed to be more family orientated back then. It seemed to be more family cohesive, family dinners, church on Sundays. But nowadays, think about it. Really think about it. Like we don't have family here. How often do you talk to your parents?
I talk to my mom every day on my way home. Is that, hey, mama's boy?
Well, that just blew my case.
I love her.
Yeah, I talk to my dad almost every day.
I would say my dad a little less because now that my mom's retired, I know she's available in the afternoon to
Right.
chat. My dad will be
Okay.
at work still.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
but not most kids,
It's a-
millennials, and they're not talking every day. They're not
Maybe
a
having
weekly thing.
dinners. Like, and I know on Sundays, coming from an Italian family, Sundays was the day that the families and the cousins got together, and we had the big cookout.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know whether that's happening in mainstream population.
So then why do you think millennials feel more
Because
strongly that women should stay? Because they're missing out
they're
on
missing
that?
out. They've never experienced it, so they see all
Okay.
these shows and they feel that they're missing out on something, and they want to go back Plus, millennials do like to feel like they are the one. So this is men,
Yeah, this
millennial
is men.
men, who are wanting the women to stay home. They're
Okay.
not necessarily saying, oh yes, well the women can go out and work. No, no, no.
No,
So
it's the
they
men,
want- they want
millennial
the
men
family-
wanting women
Yeah, they want
to
the
stay
family
home.
unit. And I think that's what they're missing. And that's what they've missed out on, because think about it, the millennials have grown up with technology. So they're on iPads, they're doing all the things that they've been doing. They've grown up with both parents working because the cost of education is so expensive.
I don't know. I'm really surprised by this because I would have thought
I'm
we
not.
see so much more about like millennials think more it's okay to have the stay-at-home dad or something like that. I'm kind of surprised
get
that
you.
they feel more
I
strongly
think
that
it's
a woman
just
should
kind
stay
of
home.
instilled in us.
Eric, you're a
that-
millennial man. Do you want a stay-at-home life?
If I could make that much money,
Let's just
and
get a girlfriend
provide
first.
and provide a good living. Moving on, provide a
Okay.
good living for my family. Yeah, I think it would be great. I know my mom actually. She started waitressing. She gave up teaching when we were young, so she could spend time with us and
Yeah.
raise
That's
us.
nice.
And then
Yeah.
as soon as we got old enough, she went back to teaching.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the way I know it, and I would like that for my kids too.
Yeah, that's nice.
Okay, good. Well, if you want to tell us your thoughts, head over to Midday Kentucky's Facebook page. Now, what I find really interesting is that you wanted to bring this topic up, Eric, is
Well,
how
I was
to-
just in Florida, so I spent a lot of time, poolside
Doing
at the
the
beach.
Borat.
Did-
This is finding the right swimsuit.
for your body type.
Uh-huh.
Now, I think it's
What do you wear?
I wear like a trunk, but a little shorter, because I got these
Right.
great legs, very fit legs. So
If they were waxed.
Oh, there you are.
yeah, there.
There you are.
I'm gonna need
Wait, that
Lydia
leg,
to
that's
come.
what you wear?
No, I'm even
You
a
want
little.
Lydia
I'm
to
like,
come see you in the
I'm like
shorts?
mid thigh. No, I need to do a few more crunches.
Wait,
with
that's what
Lydia.
you wear?
Yeah, in that I don't have quite the deep V.
No,
that
that's
he's
what he
got
wears.
going.
You gotta wax.
You
Lydia.
wear
No,
it.
I
You gotta
don't.
wax.
That's too European for me, and I don't think I could pull it off. So what
Okay.
are you a Speedo guy, Troy?
Well, in Australia, Speedos are a huge thing. Like,
It is,
you know,
and like
yeah.
I said, a
Right.
European thing or a coastal thing.
Yeah, look,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know
it's
whether
a
I like the
regional
idea of the Borat type
Oh,
of
the
outfit.
lime green
Yeah.
squeegee type
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
But anyway, so we do have some tips that if you're tall, over 6 feet, you're supposed to look proportional. So you
Okay.
don't want to look like a monster wearing a real short bathing suit because your legs up to here. If you're short, you want to wear a little shorter bathing suit so you don't look, stout, if you will. And then if you're a little chubby, maybe got a little dad bod belly going, you're supposed to wear a short bathing suit too, because then everyone's like, oh wow, he's got great legs. They kind of take the eyes
yeah, I
off
like
the
that
boiler.
one. That's that last picture that we showed.
The green thing.
Yeah.
I'm not a competitive
I
swimmer.
want to see Eric in that. You could wear that when you come to get waxed, so nothing's in the way.
There's gonna be no waxing. There's no waxing. I don't know what this is why I'm only on the show part time.
But you love
Eric,
it.
I would do it
Well,
too.
you-
I would wax
you don't
my
like
legs.
You don't
attention.
pick on David Goldman like you pick on me.
I think David would let us
You're
wax
just,
his
yeah.
legs.
I think the problem is
He would.
David would let us do that
Yeah.
if you're watching
But
David.
then it's not as
But we
funny.
like the fact that we have to fight you to get these
That's
things
right.
done.
That's right.
We
But
like
I
it.
would do it too.